Hey guys, Zach here. Got another little video overview for you today. Not really a review so much because I haven't used this knife. I just received it last week and I'd been eyeing it for a while and just really was loving it. Finally pulled the trigger and picked it up. If you haven't guessed what it is yet by the logo, it's an American Kami Mid-Tech Colubris fixed blade. Check that thing out. Now, American Kami is owned and operated by a fellow named DJ Urbanovsky, if I'm not butchering his last name. He does a lot of custom work, a lot of tomahawks, and that's actually how I found his site to begin with, was doing searches for tactical tomahawks. I came across his work and then found out that he had this mid-tech knife that had gone into production and was going to be coming out, and once it was released, sometime around Blade Show I think, came out. I waited a while and ended up ordering one straight from him. Just an outstanding guy to work with. Answers his emails quickly. He ate the PayPal costs and the shipping and got me this knife insured, packaged up good to me in like no time. So definitely an awesome business owner. Especially for a guy that I think is really busy doing a lot of his custom work. He really takes the time to get back with his customers. Just a little bit more about the knife. It's a just about a 4-inch blade, 9 inches overall length. So it gives you kind of perspective of how overall big it is. It's made out of CPM S35V, so it's a premium stainless steel, which I have several knives in S30 and S35V, and it's awesome stuff. It comes in black, brown, and green. Basically your three major G10 colors that you're going to see most manufacturers putting out. Would be pretty sweet if it came in orange also. For some reason I think this knife just screams, to me anyway, that it would look awesome with orange G10 scales on it. It's a modified warncliffe design, so it's got a lot of utility, but he still put a little bit of belly in the blade here, so easier to sharpen, helps you with some of the other cutting tasks, non-utility cutting tasks maybe, that you would use a blade like this for. If you watch his videos on YouTube, he says that he was trying to design a knife that was going to be a very good all-around knife, and I think he just hit it out of the park with this one. So it's got some of the better utility features of a warncliffe, yet still has a little bit of belly in the blade. If we look at the top, the grinds here, you have a nice unsharpened swedge that comes down right here, and then it almost is like a reverse tanto that cuts off even steeper down to the tip. So you still can pierce with this thing pretty good. I poked it through some boxes, nothing major yet, and I mean it pierce cuts like no problem at all. So if that was an issue for you, if that was a question some of you might have had, see right here it takes this nice steep drop into the tip, so you get a really delicate tip for fine work. But it's a beefy slab. I mean, it's like 0.18 inches full tang, as you would expect from any kind of custom work for any kind of fixed blade at this kind of price. One of the things I really like about it, and I wasn't really sure how it would feel. I hadn't held it before I ordered it, so I kind of took a little bit of a risk. But this jimping and this dish area here on the spine is awesome. DJ, he's got jimping both back here where the handle is, forward a little bit, and then all the way forward towards the middle of the blade. So really, whatever's most comfortable for you or for whatever you're trying to cut, you've got a lot of options here where you're going to put your thumb. All of them provide really good traction. So I'm locked in here. If I wanted to choke up a little bit, I'm locked in there. And then for really fine work, if I really wanted to do some fine shaving or something like that, I could use this forward run of jimping right here, and that is just awesome. I'm really loving this. I'm calling it a dished out area on the spine. I'm not sure if it has a technical knife term or not. The knife just feels right. Of all the fixed blades I have, it probably feels the best in my hand than any of them, for my hand anyway. And I have large hands, large glove size for my hands. I don't really have to adjust my fingers or anything. The knife As soon as I pick it up, it just falls right into place where I would use it. Just so perfect. The G10, he has, you could see he has etched in here or cut in here or milled in here, whatever, however it's done, I'm not entirely sure, his logo. One thing that I did notice, and being somebody who notices details, his logo is backwards actually on his G10. So if you look at his logo here, if I zoom in, not out, you could see how it is oriented there. And if you look at the logo on the handle scales, it's actually backwards. Not a big deal, it was just something I noticed today when I was playing around with it. I love these spanner bit type hardware that he uses here for the scales. He's got 3 of them in there. I mean, they're not going anywhere. It's just a good looking knife to me. I'm definitely going to be taking this one with me camping and backpacking and stuff and putting it to hard use. It's you know, it's an elegant looking knife to me still, but it's one that I'm not going to just have as a safe queen. I'm going to use it. And one of the reasons why that I would want to use it is just that it feels like it's going to work so well. I mean, for food prep, cutting, shaving wood, just about anything I'm going to need to do when I'm outdoors doing outdoor stuff, I'm going to be able to do with it. That being said, I also feel comfortable using this as a defense type tool. I mean, look at the finger guard here. You've got a really nice finger guard, tons of jimping, like I said. If you needed to use this thing in self-defense, you're going to have all kinds of ways to use it, and it's going to work perfectly. Unlike probably, I mean, I'm sure you could still defend yourself with the standard warncliffe type design, but this one, having this tip the way it is and having this belly in the blade, still lends itself to being a good self-defense tool. Reverse grip also feels really good. Reverse grip, my thumb just falls right here onto the bit of the tang that sticks out of the back, and that's kind of another little nice design feature. He does leave that exposed, so I guess you could use it as a non-lethal impact device or glass breaker or whatever, what have you. One of the only downsides that you might find with this knife, and I guess really my only criticism, is his lanyard hole here is really tiny. I don't know if I'd be able to fish a piece of 550 cord through there. I'm not sure that I would. I would probably just end up pushing it right through this screw here at the back of the handle instead, because it's actually got a larger diameter than the lanyard hole itself. So if the lanyard, I don't put a lanyard on a lot of my knives for what I'm doing, but it's just something to mention. That lanyard hole is a bit small. Maybe in some of the future ones, if he made that just a little bit bigger, it would be a little bit more functional. It does come with a Kydex sheath, nicely made Kydex sheath. I like the folded over style, the taco style, if you want to call it that, of Kydex sheath. You have less hardware. The rivets are set up to accommodate a large tech lock or just about anything. So if you wanted to mount this thing to molly gear, or just about any way you want to mount it. DJ actually carries his inside a waistband, and he has a video on, he has multiple cords and how he carries that. I tried to set it up to carry that way. It looked a little funky sticking out of my pants. I'm a slim guy, so the way that DJ recommends carrying it, the knife was always sticking out. It pretty much looked like I had a chubby everywhere I was going. So the way I actually carry it, I do carry it inside the waistband, but just with the single piece of paracord wrapped around the belt, pulled through, and I carry it with the tip down on my right side. And I haven't really carried a lot of fixed blades inside a waistband, just for EDC, but this one is really comfortable. The design of this sheath is really smooth. This handle's really pretty smooth against my side, so I don't have really any issues. I carried it for about 2 weeks now inside my waistband on a day-to-day basis to work, just about all over the place, and very comfortable. And I'm really kind of picky about inside the waistband carry, and I usually don't end up carrying a fixed blade for very long if it's not very comfortable. I'll just revert back to my folding knives and so on. As you can see when you're doing some YouTube searches, if you watch any other videos, his sheath it does come very tight. I mean, you could see that's some serious positive lockup you get there. This thing is not coming out of this Kydex at all. He recommends that you pull it out. If you pull it out of your pants and you're carrying it inside your waistband, you would grip it here behind this rivet so you don't cut your hand, and you really gotta give it a good pull to pull out. You can see it's tight, so the tightness of it isn't really an issue for me. I don't really mind that. I know some guys will probably get it and take a hairdryer to it, or maybe pull this other rivet out or something to make it make the blade come in and out a little bit better. But it is tight, I think, because of how far up the handle the Kydex is molded to and the placement of this final rivet. So that's just something to be aware of. Another little touch on the Kydex is the drain hole cut right here by this final rivet. You can see the tip right here. Let me bring it up to the camera. You've got a nice little drain hole here, so if you were using this out in the woods or backpacking or whatever and you did get it wet, that would allow that water to drain out of your Kydex. But let me go ahead and pull it out again. Yeah, see, it's got a really positive lock, and to me, I really like that. Again, I like hearing this thing click in there, and I know that I'm not going to lose it and it's not going to fall out. And if I was carrying it on a vest or something like that, or on my backpack vertically like this, there would be no chance that this thing is going to come out. Even getting it snagged, it's not going to pull out on its own. You can see it takes me a good little bit of force just to pull it out. But yeah, really beautiful knife. If you don't know, or if you haven't checked them out yet, it's AmericanKami.com, and I'll put the link down in the comments. But really outstanding American-made mid-tech and custom knife maker. That's just my initial overview of this thing and kind of how I feel about it so far. After I get some use with it, maybe I'll get some woods videos with it or so on, of using it and putting it through its paces. But loving this knife, absolutely loving it. Anyway, hopefully you enjoyed this, and you come out with a little bit of info. If you're considering buying one, I would say you really can't go wrong. You will not be disappointed. And thanks, guys.